So one of the questions a lot of you guys have been asking is, what's the difference between an online lender and a local lender? Like, which one is better to use, basically? In this video, I'm gonna give you the most important differences and things that you need to look for when deciding on whether to use an online lender or a local lender. Now, before I dive in, do me a huge favor, like, comment, and subscribe so you get more content like this. All right, so online lender versus local lender. Like, what's the difference? Does it even matter? Well, the answer is yes, it matters a lot, especially if you're buying a house. On a refinance, if the lender messes up, the only person that's disappointed is you. And maybe you wasted a little bit of your time, maybe you paid for an appraisal or something like that. But at the end of the day, you're not in contract to purchase a property, and now all of a sudden you don't qualify because this online lender did not know the local rules of engagement. So let me give you some examples of why local matters. All right, so reason number one is the insurance requirements. I'm talking about homeowners insurance, flood insurance, hurricane insurance. There are a bunch of different insurance policies that may or may not be required in order for you to be eligible for financing. Well, let's say that the lender doesn't realize that the neighborhood that you're buying in is in a fire zone and that there's gonna be increased fire insurance. In fact, you're in one of the neighborhoods where you can't get anything except the nasty California Fair Plan. And it's super expensive. And the lender, let's say it's Rocket Mortgage, they're in Detroit. They don't know what it's like in California. So they don't understand that you're gonna have much higher fire insurance. And so what happens? You think you're pre-approved, you go write an offer, you get in a contract, and now your insurance agent provides you with an updated quote for the property that you're now in contract to buy. Oh, and guess what? It's $5,000 a year for fire insurance. Now all of a sudden you don't qualify, or maybe you don't want that property anymore. If you were working with a local lender, they would have known that and they would have tipped you ahead of time that, hey, we need to look at the insurance options for these properties that you're interested in. Difference number two, property tax rates are gonna vary based off of what state and what county you're purchasing in. And the amount of taxes that are collected, they're gonna vary. And so if somebody's an out-of-towner, they're not gonna understand what the local tax rules are, and they're not going to calculate your property taxes accurately. This can impact what you think your monthly payment is. This can impact how much you qualify for. This can impact how much you have to come out of pocket for to complete the transaction. Difference number three, escrow state versus attorney state. Not every state is equal, and in certain states, like California for instance, it's a escrow state, meaning that a neutral third party handles the escrow and the funds, and also facilitates the signing, usually with a notary, or the escrow office has their notary license. If you're in an attorney state, an attorney actually facilitates all of that stuff. And so depending on what state you're in, it's going to dictate what the rules of engagement are, and that's going to impact the timeline that it takes for you to close. It's going to impact the closing costs for your transaction. So if they don't understand the local rules of engagement, they're going to be off on this. Big difference number four is down payment assistance programs. If you're an out-of-town lender, most likely you're not going to be aware of the available down payment assistance programs. And even if you do know that they exist, if you're not in that state, it's likely that if the lender that you're talking to is not based out of the state that you're buying in, they don't have access to that down payment assistance program anyways. Now this one's big, guys. Realtor opinions matter. And what I'm talking about is the local real estate agent that you're going to be buying the house from. Their opinion matters, and they can sway whether or not your offer gets accepted. They want to know that when they accept an offer that you're going to be able to perform. And if part of that performance is closing a loan, they want to know the lender. They hate it when it's Rocket Mortgage or whatever out-of-town call center, because they know that the call centers, they don't do as good of a job. They're not as thorough. Go ahead and Google it. You'll find out that a lot of deals fall apart after the pre-approval process. The call center LOs, they're not as skilled. They haven't stepped in as many piles of shit as the local loan officers that have been in the game for a long time and know the local rules of engagement. So if you want your offer accepted and you're trying to do everything that you can in order to make that happen, use a local lender. Now, if you want to work with one of our team members based out of your market, we'd love to help you. Reach out to us. You can schedule an appointment in the description link below. We'll help get you pre-approved, give you your mortgage options, walk you through the process, and set you up for success. If you haven't already, do me a huge favor, tap that like button, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.